Number one, you were born in a cold prison. It is your country, your state. Number two, you have to pay for the prison stay. They call the prison fee taxes. Number three, you have no say what will be done with the money, but you have to pay. Number four, to pay the money, you have to work. The prison encourages you to buy new shiny products, so you feel better about your poor existence. Number five, you are not allowed to exit the prison and live on your own. They will hunt you and make you pay. Number six, only a few prisoners have walked far enough to see the prison wall. Number seven, the prison gives you news and entertainment so that you don't discover the prison walls. Number eight, the prison does not allow strong family bonds or strong brotherhood unless you are a part of the group that is running the prison. Number nine, the prison you live in wants you weak, sick, and divided, because weak prisoners.
The Western world is a corrupt society, and I think if you ask the average citizen or the average person who lives over here on this side of the world, despite if they're possibly the wealthy people profiting off this corrupt system, they'll probably agree with this very common sentiment, that the economy is going to shit, that the average person has to juggle multiple jobs to even be able to suffice in a modern lifestyle, even if it's a single, studio apartment. If you're an individual male, God forbid you have children or, a significant other to take care of, but if you do, you're probably both, hitting the wagon, going to work, and doing everything you got to do, even taking up side jobs, side hustles. It's a hard world out there right now. Not even to mention the cost of survival. That used to be cost of living, but now more so represents the cost of survival. Either way, in this video, we're going to continue the discussions surrounding these said topics, and if you have any other thoughts, opinions, or if you feel like you relate to anything that's discussed in this video, feel free to leave those thoughts, opinions down below. I always love to respond to the ones I see fit. As well as I want to give a lot of acknowledgement and a huge shout out to the help of you guys checking out those links down below in the description. Those are always some of the best ways to support me and the content around here. Now, let's begin this shit show.
They're not interested in producing the best nutritional supplement in the world. They're not interested in your health. All they're interested in is convincing you that you need to buy this product and take their product every day for the rest of your life, the same way that the drug companies are trying to get you to take their drugs for the rest of your life. It's the same type of people. The same type of people that own nutritional companies are the same type of people that run and manage and own the pharmaceutical companies. They're interested only in making a profit. And I know this because I've been in the factories. I've talked to these owners. I've been there as the author of Natural Cures and More Natural Cures Revealed, the best-selling health books of all time. And I've been there, and they say, yeah, Kevin, people are interested in vitamin C. That's what our market research says. They want vitamin C in their supplements. So they're looking for a certain percentage, a certain milligram count of vitamin C. Our research shows that people are convinced that they have to have a certain amount of vitamin C. So we have to make sure, from a marketing standpoint, that we have vitamin C listed on the label and a certain milligram count. Oh, that's okay. And what do you use for vitamin C? Kevin, we use the cheapest crap you can find, ascorbic acid. We buy it from China. It's so cheap, it's like buying dirt. I go, why don't you use like a natural whole food compound with vitamin C, like acerola cherry or camu or rose hips, or something that's a natural food that you can concentrate that is very high in vitamin C. That's too expensive and it won't increase sales. Kevin, that will reduce profits.
Despite the common sentiment of love thy neighbor and, these certain tactics that we learn in like elementary school, learn to share, we learn to, work together, and we learn to, actually live amongst some sort of like a community sense of, society. These days, human beings are driven solely for profit-based margins, and every single organization seems to be thinking this exact same way. If you talk to a CEO, honestly, I'm not even sure if you can be I'm not even sure if you can really become a CEO if you don't have some sort of like sinful behavior at large, because it really feels like the way they, make these menus at most of these restaurants and most of these fast food places, the way they, these whole car insurance scams, the whole, real estate market, everything seems to be a profit-driven society. If you're not trying to up these stock prices, what are you doing? You're not really working for the company. Although most of these companies, especially, the government, which is the biggest company and the biggest gang army to ever exist, they're supposed to be servants for the people, when in reality, they act like we're just peasants who have to, hole up to the kingdom at large. But in reality, it's supposed to be the opposite way around. They're supposed to work for us, public servants. But that's not really seems to be how it feels when you live throughout society. Most importantly, well, not most importantly, most specifically in this, commentary, the Western world. And I really touch on the Western world more so because that's where I live. I'm a U.S. citizen, and I'm born and raised here. Hopefully, maybe one day I'll be able to experience other parts of the world, but most Americans, especially through the media, we're very short-sighted. We feel like this is the entirety of the world, and really, it's kind of a small part. I mean, yeah, I know we're like the biggest superpower or whatever because of our currency being so crazy and how our government actually makes it that way, and we continue to push towards being the largest superpower in the world, and I'm very blessed to be born here. I do feel safe overall, but at the end of the day, it does feel like if there is going to be a collapse, it's going to be from within. And the way the media tries to divide and conquer and tries to make everything off a profit, hey, even every single news site that is supposed to be, okay, when you wake up in the morning and your grandma and you're like grandpa and grandma, your mom and dad, even you yourself, maybe before work, you throw on the news, you want to see what like the weather channel is like, you want to see what like happened last night, and it's just fear-mongering. It's just supposed to make you feel like, oh, chaos, nothing's going to be there's no hope on the horizon, and there really hasn't been in a long time. Is this ever going to change? Are there any news sites you guys watch that are any more positive? I understand, you can't just live in a bubble, you have to hear both, but it seems like it's only negativity driven. There's really no positivity at all. Money the root of all evil. Well, if you actually want to look up what this whole basis is about, it's kind of based off of some sort of scripture text, but it's not money itself that's the root of all evil. It's the endeavor towards making money, earning money, trying to create said currency that really drives the chaos and the sinful behavior that most people, especially large organizations, kind of seem to play out in modern times. And it makes it feel like, especially as the customer, as the consumer, it feels as if we're just kind of like, all hail the corporations, when in reality, they're supposed to be, helping us, they're supposed to be working for us, they're supposed to be benefiting society, when in reality, it usually ends up being more of like a lobbying type of measure, and then we end up getting like the Walmarts, the Targets, these big organizations, where small mom and pop shops that used to be kind of like the kind of the basis of America, the American dream, kind of got thrown out the window quite a while ago. If you're not trying to build an empire, if like you're not trying to take over society like a Starbucks or like a Walmart, for example, like I already mentioned, even like a McDonald's maybe is another good example, what are you doing? America doesn't want you. Those stock prices are they're not even going to exist. And I understand the whole stock, it's kind of a different thing, because once you become a stock, it's like a public majority thing, everybody can, invest. It's a different type of aspect versus like a mom and pop shop ordeal. But Again, America was grown off the basis of the mom and pop shop idea, which again is not really what you see throughout the majority of states, cities, and places you go. I'm going to wrap up another video discussing how modern times, modern society, modern civilization seems to be following. It's going kaput. It's not doing that good. Feel free to share your thoughts, opinions down below if you can agree with any of these measures, if you can actually, and despite which race you are, which generation you fall into, a lot of people can fall into this, common sentiment that society is not what it once was and not what it's all kind of cracked up to be. Now, I'm more than blessed to be here and living, and I'm more than blessed to be in the, society that I live in. But again, it seems as if it's always going downhill. And maybe that's just what the media represents. Maybe I'm kind of part of the problem. But I'm just kind of here to stir up different discussions, trying to shine lights on topics that should be discussed more in modern day. And if you enjoy content like this, if you've been supporting the content, I'm more than appreciate the handful of you guys who check out those links down below in the description. Those are always some of the best ways to support me and what I do around here. As well as just showing up every day, content always remains free. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you in the next one. God bless.